What's up, Taiwan? I'm Liao with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Google has pledged close to $10 million to help boost Taiwan's media operations and digital competitiveness. To find out how the plan is being received, our reporter Joyce Zhen spoke to representatives from Google Taiwan and local media.
In early March, Google announced it will put almost $10 million into supporting digital news platforms in Taiwan. The tech giant said it will be paying local publishers through a Taiwan News Digital Co-Prosperity Fund. The goal? According to Google Taiwan's head of news partnerships, it's to help Taiwanese outlets report their way.
What the announcement that we did on the 8th of March really does is put the resources directly into the industry's hands to help them achieve what they want to do the things, to do the projects that they feel they really need to do in order for them to achieve a future, a strong future, but then a sustainable future as well.
Google has had to find ways to work with governments and news outlets around the world for a few years now. In 2019, a landmark EU copyright law required Google and other online platforms like Meta to pay content creators for their work, including journalists. Similar legislation also followed in Australia and Canada. In 2018, Google launched its News Initiative platform to centralize and scale support for quality journalism. And Luis says the 3-year fund for Taiwan is an extension of this mission. However, local media have questions about if this plan can solve one of the core problems of Taiwan's media environment.
我们今天大家只认流量，那不好意思，内容农场的流量是比较有效的。它的内容农场标题，农场式的标题，就比专业新闻的标题来得吸引流量。
According to Chen, several local outlets have already resorted to clickbait tactics, foregoing quality investigation and journalism. Another major concern is how the funds will be distributed. Google has commissioned a separate body to oversee the subsidy program, but the company has not said who it is working with or shared any details about application eligibility and review procedures.
我们也反而比较担心说，透过这个基金这个 fund。 他委托那个 DTA 去运作的时候，反而会去做了内容的 censorship。因为在那天的发表会上，其实那个主持人他有一直强调说必须是要有公共利益啦，公共利益。那问题是公共利益是你的公共利益还是我的公共利益？
Google says they will be sharing more details on how the fund will be managed in the coming months. They also say that their algorithms are constantly updated and checked by over 10,000 raters around the world.
Misleading or deceptive content poses serious risk to our users. So at Google, we value how accurate and credible sources will be helpful to them. That's why, in addition to making sure our users are able to access accurate information, we also committed ourselves to better media literacy.
Beyond subsidies and resources, some local media are looking for an industry climate update. And in today's fast-paced and saturated content market, clicks can shape entire news feeds. Maybe a big part of the solution is how users exercise their power by voting with their fingers. Andy Xue and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
The head of Taiwan's top financial watchdog says that cryptocurrencies will soon be added to its jurisdiction. Huang Tianmu told lawmakers that the Financial Supervisory Commission will oversee crypto payments and transactions. An initial framework for the new regulations is expected by June. Taiwan has traditionally taken a hands-off approach to virtual currencies. But the collapse of crypto trading platform FTX last year has added a new sense of urgency. That crash saw 500,000 Taiwanese users faced with total losses of $98 million.
金管会目前被行政院指示要承担的是其中的有关也许支付跟交易性质的，但是还有其他性质的东西，我想行政院还有相关的这个部会还在继续研究它的性质。
Without drastic and immediate cuts to emissions, the planet is on course to surpass irreversible levels of warming within the next decade. That's the message from the world's leading scientific body on climate change in their latest summary report. It warns that the impacts to life on Earth could be more dire than already predicted. Sally Ensign has this story.
Floods, droughts, fires. The catastrophic impacts of the climate crisis are becoming increasingly apparent, in some cases worse than previously thought. And we're not doing enough to try and stop this. That was the urgent message by the UN's leading climate science body in Switzerland on Monday. In its summary report, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change says the climate crisis has already caused widespread and substantial losses to almost every aspect of human life.
It tells us, and we know that climate change is here now. It tells us that climate change is a real threat to human and planetary well-being.
The summary lays out how these impacts directly affect our health, our food sources, our water, and more. But one thing stood out from the report. This graph shows how far off track the world is in keeping the rise in global temperatures to a minimum. And as a small tropical island, Taiwan is particularly vulnerable to these changes. Increasing global temperatures are already causing sea levels to rise. If the average global temperature increases by 2 degrees Celsius, this is how much of Taiwan would be submerged. And if it rises by 4 degrees Celsius, which is what we are on course for, it would be this much, causing large parts of Taipei and the west coast to be underwater. A rise in global temperatures would be even more pronounced in Taiwan. If the average temperature increases by just 2 degrees Celsius, this would manifest as temperature rises of 3 to 4 degrees in Taipei, which already experiences lethal heat waves in the summer. Experts also say Taiwan's climate goals are not enough to prevent these disasters.
这样的一个目标来讲的话，跟国际上面要迈向近零的这个路径的要求来讲的话，就会有很大的落差。因为国际上面的话，总温室气体里面减量的要求到2030年的时候是要减43%。
Scientists say that the severity of the impacts climate change will have on future generations depend on the choices that we make now.
The real question is whether our will to reduce emissions quickly means we reach 1.5 degrees, maybe go a little bit over, but then come back down, or whether we go blasting through 1.5 degrees, go through even 2 degrees and keep on going. So the future really is in our hands.
But there is a glimmer of hope. The report offers several actions that the world can take that are already available, such as shutting down fossil fuel infrastructure, restoring ecosystems, and transitioning to green energy. The findings say these steps would not only help turn around the climate and ecological crises, but address health, equity, justice, and even economic issues. The question is whether governments, communities, businesses, and individuals will take the warnings seriously, and if they are prepared to take action fast enough. Ethan Pan and Sally Ensign for TaiwanPlus.
A new scientific discovery is creating a buzz in the UK. Researchers there found that bumblebees can not only solve puzzles, but also pass the solutions on to other bees. At Queen Mary University, individual bees were taught to push a red tab to get to the sugar inside. Other bees were able to copy that behavior just by watching, with a 98% success rate. Researchers say this shows humans don't understand animal intelligence as well as we might think.
They have brains the size of a pinhead, yet they're still able to produce this behavior. That whatever humans can do is some kind of evolutionary pinnacle. This way of looking at it has meant that we've missed some really fascinating capabilities found among even tiny invertebrates.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of a seaside art installation in eastern Taiwan's Taidong County. I'm Liao. Take care and see you next time.